For weeks, food kept disappearing from my kitchen. At first I thought I was just forgetting what I ate. But then one night I decided to check the security camera. And what I saw completely changed the way I sleep in my own house. Welcome to Story Vault. About a year ago I moved into a small house by myself. It was nothing special, just a quiet place in a normal neighborhood. Living alone was actually something I enjoyed. Everything was peaceful. But after a few weeks, something strange started happening. Food began disappearing from my kitchen. At first it was small things. A yogurt. A bottle of juice. Sometimes leftovers I was sure I hadn't touched. I assumed I had just forgotten eating them. But then it kept happening. Almost every few days something would go missing. One morning I opened the fridge and noticed half a pizza that I had saved from the night before was completely gone. That's when I started to feel uneasy. I lived alone. No roommates. No one else had keys. So where was the food going? At first I thought maybe someone was breaking in. But nothing else in the house was disturbed. No doors forced open. No windows broken. Just food disappearing. Eventually I decided to install a small security camera in the kitchen. It was mainly meant for pets, but I figured it might help me see what was going on. For the first few nights nothing happened. The recordings just showed an empty kitchen. Then one night something finally appeared. I was reviewing the footage the next morning while drinking coffee. At first everything looked normal. But around 3:17 a.m., the camera captured movement. The kitchen door slowly opened. And someone stepped inside. My stomach dropped. It was a man. He looked dirty, exhausted, and completely unaware that a camera was recording him. He walked straight to the fridge. Opened it. And started eating. Not just grabbing something and leaving. He sat at my kitchen table and ate like he had been starving. Then he cleaned up the plate, wiped the counter, and quietly left the room. I replayed the video several times, trying to understand how this was even possible. How could someone be inside my house without me knowing? That's when I realized something terrifying. He didn't enter through the front door. He came from the hallway. From inside the house. I watched the footage again. And I noticed exactly where he had come from. The small door to the attic. The next thing I did was call the police. They arrived later that morning and searched the house. When they opened the attic, they found blankets, food wrappers, and empty bottles. Someone had been living up there. 4 weeks. Possibly longer. The man in the video had been sleeping in my attic and coming down at night when he thought I was asleep. The police eventually found him hiding in a nearby abandoned building. Apparently he had been sneaking into houses for shelter. But what still haunts me is the thought of how many nights he might have been walking through my house while I was sleeping. Completely unaware. Even now, I double-check every door and every room before going to bed. Because once you realize someone could have been living above your ceiling the entire time, it's very hard to feel safe again. And that's the story. Have you ever had something strange happen in your house that you couldn't explain at first? Share your experience in the comments. I read them all, and some of the craziest ones might appear in future videos. And if you enjoy creepy stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Story Vault for more unbelievable stories from around the internet.